we are back at it again on a Money Run Sunday. I think I'm gonna name this a whole new, probably a whole new thing, man. Like a little series or something like that every Sunday. Probably jump on here and drop a video for y'all. Yep. So here we are, being productive. And what better way to be productive than to be productive while being productive, right? If y'all get that, don't let it go over your head now. All right. Want to talk to y'all about something real brief, man. Don't be afraid to change, no matter what your profession is. But I gotta talk to my truck drivers over here, man. I gotta talk to y'all real quick. Never be afraid to change. You know, um, a lot of us get caught in a loop of trying to basically relive our glory days from, oh yeah, I was a guy back in high school. You try to revamp that entire persona that you had from back then as an adult, not even realizing that that's that very thing that's holding you back from your greatness. Now, I'm not on here to preach, just on here to talk to y'all, hopefully motivate some of you guys a little bit on today. See, because on Sundays, you already know how it is, man. On Sundays, a lot of people want to chill, watch football and things like that. I mean, football is over with, but you get what I'm saying. When football season is in, that's what a lot of people do. You get to trying to cut corners and get home and rush and get home. And I get it. I almost did it earlier. I don't blame y'all for it. We all human. We all human at the end of the day. But I find that when you decide to be productive, the best time to be your most productive is when nobody else want to be productive. When everybody's at home chilling, that's when you get the best advantage for yourself. So drivers, I know some of y'all don't like working weekends, things like that. I work every weekend. I mean, that's my normal schedule anyway, but I love it, man. I'm not gonna lie, I love it. Just because, you can get so much done while everybody's at home chilling, laid up, cuddled with their lady and things like that. I get so much done. So while you just starting your week off on Monday, I've been at it since Saturday. It always feels the best, man. Especially on a weekend, like it's no traffic for the most part. Nobody's out until probably later on that day, like a day like today where it's Sunday. Not gonna have too many people outside, man. Not after a certain time, like 7, 8 o'clock. Oh no, everybody packing it in and going home, cause everybody gotta get ready for work in the morning. Not you though. You still gotta do it, but you already in the right mindset to continue on with the rest of your week, working Wednesday, weekends, things like that. So always just keep that in mind. Now, when I talk about being afraid to change, I'm gonna try to give y'all a quick little story of what I mean. At some point, that was me. Not necessarily afraid to change, but I didn't want anybody looking at me a certain type of way because of where I grew up. I grew up in the hood, things like that. I'm not saying I was a street dude, but I was around them all the time, bro. From gang bangers and all type of stuff. So when it comes down to things like that, what you have to realize is change is sometimes a good thing. Change can save your life. But I spoke about this in one of my very first videos I've ever dropped on this channel, which is why you should move out the hood. That should be your very first change that you make. You know, Move out the hood. The more you see, the more your eyes will become open and more accepting of some of the things. You never really know what you're interested in until you actually go out there. Like I never thought I'd be doing bass fishing and all this type of stuff. And in case you guys don't know, over on this channel, for all you guys that's new, I drop videos about that too, where I go bass fishing and I try to fish for trout, things like that. So I never knew how much I would enjoy fishing, even if I don't catch anything, until I actually tried it. A lot of us are so worried about what other people gonna think. Oh, for example, growing up in the hood, you do some stuff like what I be doing. I get my kayak out, I throw it in the back of my truck, and I hit lakes. I hit up the lake with my fishing rods and things like that. I'm even thinking about doing fishing tournaments. I'm not gonna lie, but Yeah, when you do some of the things that y'all see me doing here on this channel, like fishing and all this other stuff, people back at home, your family and all that, even my own mama called me that. She was like, "Oh yeah, you a country boy now." I grew up in the city, so that you don't really see that too often. Guys like myself going out there doing stuff like that. A lot of us want to live in the city, want to live, breathe, and die in the city. Like that's what it is. And for the most part, that's what's been happening. So in order for me not to follow that same path of all my fallen brothers out there, what did I decide to do different? I decided to get up out of that situation, move to a whole different area that I'm not familiar with, where I don't see too many of my people, and it opened my eyes to some things. I mean, that's all I can say to start with that. And then I say next in line would be try to want more for yourself. Y'all don't understand how many people I see satisfied with working at dead end jobs and things like that. Almost every job is dead end, but I don't want to get into the whole like, start you a business thing and all that type of talk. This ain't the video for that right now. But a lot of people, for example, they're satisfied with working at dead end jobs, like I said. They'll stay at the warehouse and things like that for years and years and years, and they complain about it when they get older. All the aches and pains of their bodies, things like that. And I definitely understand you got to do what you got to do with what you can at that moment. Not everybody's going to be blessed to be able to, get themselves in position to do things like that. As far as like how we all, went to trucking school, or, if you have like family and things like that who have a trucking business where you can learn how to drive a truck. You can test out in the truck and things like that and don't have to pay thousands of dollars to a trucking school to do it. But for those of you guys that are on my channel that are aspiring truck drivers, listen, go to trucking school, knock that crap out so you can get to your dream life, man. I know right now a lot of people, even in the media, are saying trucking isn't all, glitz and glamour. It ain't perfect and things like that. And I'm here to tell you, it's definitely not. It's not perfect. But boy, am I glad I did it. Just like a lot of us other people. Why do you think people never really leave trucking? There's so many people online that say, "Yeah, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna go ahead and put the trucking stuff down, and I'm gonna go do what's a career path they like to say IT. I'm gonna go do what's that? What is that mess called, man? You know what I mean? I'm gonna just say IT. I'm gonna just go do IT. Y'all see how that turned out for them guys, right? I'm not saying that the job still don't exist. It exists, but at the same time, they laid off hundreds of thousands of people over the past couple of years, just recently. So now, don't get me wrong. I know they talked about how we have these self-driven trucks coming and all this other crazy stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's still a possibility for that to happen. But listen, it hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet. Now, we all know it's coming. But until that day come of reckoning, what you can do is get your butt in that truck or sit in that classroom and do what you got to do to get your license so you can make the money until the day that happens. And by the time they get us all up out of these trucks one way or another, guess what? Hopefully you good enough with saving your money. So that way you can just save up your money, do what you got to do, like buy a house, because that's mostly the goal why a lot of us are in trucking. We want to make as much money as possible so we can buy the things we want and need for our family, like a house, our dream cars and stuff like that. Everybody got a dream, man, even truck drivers, which is why we became truck drivers. Everybody has a dream, man. Now, am I a fan of doing something you don't want to do or don't like doing in order to get to where you need to get? Absolutely, I'm a fan of it. This wasn't my first choice to become a truck driver, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to me when it comes to that. A lot of us haven't grew up thinking, okay, I want to be a truck driver when I grow up. I wasn't grandfathered into this. Nobody in my family's a truck driver. that I know of. My dad, my uncles, nobody. So when you jump into something, you just do it. I don't know where I learned that from, but my entire life, bro, just jump into it, just do it. Just try it out. But yeah, man, just hopefully I can motivate some of you guys to do better, man, cuz that's all I want to do, man. I want to see my people eating. I want to see us doing better. I want to see the kids doing better, things like that. I'm trying to connect with you guys on a deeper level so you can get a little bit better of an idea of who I am because I know a lot of you guys on this channel are new. So if you are, welcome. And for all my veteran drivers that are over here on this channel, welcome back, brothers. Appreciate you guys. And we're going to get back to some of these live streams and things like that too. I got a second season coming out of our podcast, and I just want to do things differently with that. However, I'm gonna start doing more videos of like more in detail in case you guys need help with some things. But yeah, that's definitely gonna be on the membership level, brothers, because that's gonna be some very very valuable information. And with that information, it took me to spend a little money to get it, and it took me a whole lot of research and a whole lot of just going through the whole process to experience that entire process myself to a certain extent. So if you guys would like to know what I'm talking about with that, don't hesitate to reach out. But like I said, with that type of info, like dealing with legal stuff and all that, whatever, that's definitely gonna have to go on the highest tier of membership right there, because I have a lot of information to help you guys out with that. But yeah, man, that's just wanted to come through with a quick little motivational video for you guys, man. So please, please, please go out there, get that money, and don't be afraid to change, people, at all. Please don't be afraid to change, because you never know. The day that you decide you're going to make a change, that is going to be the last day a lot of these people that were doubting you from the beginning see you in that type of state that you were in. Before they see you next time, they'll probably see you in your dream car, pulling up on them, like, trying to help them out, doing the same thing I'm doing for you guys right now. Look at me as a big brother for some of y'all. But yeah, man, yeah, man. Let's talk about dispatch real quick, man. What are some of the issues that we deal with in trucking? Because there's so many issues, and dispatch being one of them. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, but man, like I said earlier, I almost crashed out and just went home. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, because it's like every time I get down to like my very last load or whatever, I'm sure they see the process of what I'm going through and all that stuff, the progress of me running through these loads and stuff like that. And it's like soon as they see me leaving my second or third or whatever stop it is to go pick up my next one, guess what? Yeah, let's go ahead and put another load on them. That's what they did to me. So I ain't gonna lie, I calmed down now, but I just look at it now like it is what it is. Because if I was at home right now, I ain't gonna be doing nothing better but what, playing a video game. Hell, in my case, I got a wife, so we'll probably be somewhere sitting up in Target buying a whole bunch of shit we don't even need. So, if not that, then it'd probably be something else, some horizontal activity. And the last thing I need is another baby. So, with all that being the case, man, you brothers stay up, stay safe, and I'll holler at y'all soon. We'll be back probably next Sunday with another what did I call this? Money Run Sunday. We're gonna call it that. Money Run Sunday, a little series, man. Y'all be blessed, bro. I'm out.